All right, Ben, breaking news here tonight at 5. Still developing story with late information in now. An inmate who jumped from a moving SUV driven by a jailer this morning on I-71 also kidnapped 2 people in Louisville today. Hello, everybody. I'm Doug Proffitt.
And I'm Shay McAllister. Police say the inmate kidnapped 2 people right off of Brownsboro Road, then forced them to drive him to the area around River Road and Edith Road near Champions Park.
Now, police have been searching for him right here for hours. This is Norman Wolf, 31 years old. East End businesses have been on alert, and schools canceled all outdoor activity.
Take a look at your screen. This is who police are looking for. 31-year-old Norman Wolf. He is a convicted felon and was put in an orange jumpsuit when he jumped out of the prisoner transport SUV early this morning. And
that in itself is where the story picks up now at 5. A Louisville man who was driving up I-71 a few cars behind the Trimble County Sheriff Transport SUV this morning recorded the trip and the escape. He gave us his exclusive video, and I talked to him about it this afternoon.
Holy It didn't take long for one Louisville man to notice his normal drive north on I-71 wasn't going to end that way.
I have no idea what was going on. It was 100% a shock, Doug.
There's a guy in a corrections outfit on the side of a van.
Take a good look. The black SUV from the Trimble County Sheriff's Department up ahead, and you'll see the inmate hanging outside the car. It's 8:15 this morning.
Gentleman is climbing out of the passenger rear window. Eventually, after about a mile, gets completely out of the vehicle.
The driver who recorded this video and asked us not to identify him can't believe what he's seeing. 31-year-old inmate Norman Wolf has made his way outside the speeding SUV.
Is turned facing the rear of the vehicle, hanging on to just by his arm. So his armpit is on the door with his arm in the car.
Well, how are they still driving?
Still following the black Explorer, it moves off I-71 to the Gene Snyder Freeway. How long was the inmate hanging outside the vehicle?
It had to have been at least 2 miles.
And then the SUV exits to Brownsboro Road. Watch right here. You'll see the inmate take off.
When the car begins to slow down, I would say he was at 40 miles an hour or so. The gentleman jumps out, continues to do several backward somersaults. Shoes flip up in the air, dirt's everywhere.
Watch again. Here's the escape.
He pops up immediately, and as you'll see in the video, he runs down through the little ditch and directly into the bushes.
The video he gave us from start to the first appearance of the inmate to the escape lasts 1 minute and 30 seconds.
I don't know if you guys can see this.
And that's not what you plan your Thursday morning, which is my Friday. I'm getting ready to get the weekend started.
Well, there you have it. A compelling video. Our crews have been following the search in the East End all day long, and they've been talking with people about the police activity.
Alexis Jones and photojournalist Elijah McKenzie are in eastern Jefferson County right now. Alexis, what do we know about the search? Have police been able to find that inmate?
Well, Shay, LMPD hasn't confirmed whether or not Wolf has been found, but all of the shops here at the paddock are up and running once again, and the schools around ended their lockdown around noon. All of the stores and the schools were on high alert as detectives try to find Norman Wolf. LMPD says they've received calls Wolf running across all lanes of traffic on I-265 wearing orange clothing. A Trimble County jailer told police he was transporting the inmate when he kicked out the back window of his police Explorer and jumped out. Court documents show Wolf was expected to appear in Trimble County court. Police say they began searching for Wolf and advised area schools and businesses to take precautions. Around 11:30 this morning, officers learned he kidnapped 2 victims from Brownsboro Road. They say he forced the victims to drive him to River Road and Edith Avenue, which is near Louisville Champions Park. LMPD says 2 people were later found unarmed. Paddock shopper Connor Collins says he's thankful everyone is okay, especially his cousin who attends KCD.
I was a little nervous, but I was glad there was no immediate threat at KCD because I have a lot of people I know there. So.
And this is still an ongoing investigation. We will let you guys know more once we find out more information. In Louisville, Alexis Jones, WHAS11 on your side.
Okay, Alexis, thank you. Anyone with any information about this can call the Anonymous Crime Tip Hotline. That's 502-574-LMPD. You can also utilize the online crime tip portal.
Also, another developing story we're keeping a close eye on, still happening at this moment. All lanes of I-64 westbound in Simpsonville of Shelby County, Kentucky, excuse me, are shut down due to a crash involving two Kentucky State Police troopers who were chasing a suspect on I-64. Here's video of the crash taken by our chief photojournalist Philip Merle on the scene today. You can see one of the KSP cruisers off the highway into the grass on the side of the road with its front smashed up, while the other KSP cruiser looks like it was driven into the median wall, greatly damaging the left side of that police vehicle. KSP says no other vehicles were involved in the collision there on I-64 and no injuries have been reported, and the suspect they were chasing has not been caught. Today, Frankfort Police releasing new updates about what happened yesterday afternoon with that false report of an active shooter at the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet building in the capital city. In a Facebook post, Frankfort Police say they got the call of a possible active shooter just before 3 yesterday. They say they arrived on the scene within a minute and began searching the building for threats. They determined there was no danger and started to evacuate the people who sheltered in place. And shortly after 5 o'clock, police say a second call came in with a threat to the Mayo Underwood building, which is just down the street. But Frankfort police say no threat was found there either. The all clear was given then at 5 o'clock. Right now, Kentucky State Police are looking into these threat calls and whether or not it was a prank.
The Indiana Supreme Court upheld the life sentence of a man convicted of the murder and cannibalism of his ex-girlfriend. Joseph Oberhansley was convicted in 2020 of murder and burglary in the 2014 slaying of Tammy Jo Blanton. A Clark County judge sentenced him to life in prison without parole based on the jury's recommendation. But Oberhansley's attorney argued the sentence was not appropriate because he suffers from a profound mental health disorder that wasn't taken into consideration. In the Supreme Court's opinion, it said the jury did weigh those facts in its determination.
Yesterday, the search warrants into the gunman of the Old National Bank mass shooting were released. The court document showing Metro Police requested 25-year-old Connor Sturgeon's cell phone records, email accounts, and social media records. The search warrant says Sturgeon had a manifesto inside his house. There's also evidence in his phone that he planned the mass shooting and his family was worried about him.
WHAS11's Travis Breeze has been searching through the warrant, and this is what he found.
As Louisville mourns the April 10th mass shooting at Old National Bank, court documents released Wednesday reveal the shooter planned the attack. LMPD issued warrants to Apple, Google, AT&T, and Snapchat for data on Connor Sturgeon's phone. In the warrants, a detective says officers found the iPhone in Sturgeon's shirt pocket after he was shot and killed. He had broadcast the shooting on Instagram Live. On the phone, detectives say they found messages and notes which outlined plans about how to conduct the criminal activities. The document says officers found a note or manifesto at Sturgeon's home, which they searched the day of the shooting. The warrants did not offer any details on the manifesto other than confirming it exists. The documents also reference an interview detectives did with Sturgeon's parents, where they said he had previously attempted suicide and, quote, his mental health disorders may have played a part during this criminal act. A family lawyer told us days after the shooting that Sturgeon was on medication and working with a psychiatrist on mental health issues.
And tonight, we are still waiting to get autopsy results on Sturgeon's body. The family wants to know if he had any serious brain damage from past sports concussions.
The initial estimate on that review was 6 to 8 weeks. It has been about 5.5 weeks since the April 10th mass shooting.
What an absolutely gorgeous day out there. And I know there's a Bats game tonight. This is the perfect day for it.
Let's hope they've got cheap prices on hot dogs. Who knows, Ben, it may be a $1 beer night. You never know. With weather like this, you still got a little bit of that nice glow, soft sky out there today.
That's right. I think you nailed it, Doug. Thirsty Thursday, so it's going to be nice out there at the ballpark. Game time coming up here shortly, just after 6 o'clock. Beautiful conditions. It'll be in the 70s this evening. Very light winds. It will be all dry. Have had that hazy sunshine again, thanks to some of that Canadian wildfire smoke that's been drifting aloft over the region. You can see a live view of those temperatures as well. 75 in Corden right now. And this is a view with our Bachman Auto Group cam over the Falls of the Ohio with our U of L Health camera network. I made it to 80 in Campbellsville, 76 in Elizabethtown, Hodgenville, in Madison right now at 73 degrees. A couple showers off to our southeast, otherwise mainly clear over the Ohio Valley. So it is going to be quiet for tonight. We'll see some increasing clouds late tonight. Our temperatures will drop into the 60s after sunset and won't drop off much more than that. There might be a sprinkle or two as we get started here at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, but the majority of the daytime will be dry tomorrow and warm, upper 70s and lower 80s. Notice that little blip there indicating it's an isolated shower chance tomorrow afternoon. But the real chance of rain, the showers and thunderstorms, will arrive late tomorrow night. This is 11:30 on your Friday. I'll show you what we can expect, how much rain and how long this could linger around the area coming up in our complete forecast in just a few minutes.
Ben, thank you very much. Tonight, the Jeffersonville community is remembering someone who spent his life serving others. Mike Harvey was a librarian in the library system for more than 50 years. He died this week. As thousands of people passed through the library every year, one thing stayed the same. That was Mr. Mike, always there to help you find something to read. Starting his career as a teacher, he brought that love of learning to the libraries. The community is now remembering his commitment to children's literacy, helping many young readers sign up for their first ever library card.
Just reading some of the responses on our social media has been really heartwarming. You know, people talked about, somebody said, I had him as a first grade teacher and he was pure magic. As a matter of fact, he's the reason that I became a teacher myself.
Very special memories there. Well, tomorrow the Jeffersonville Library will be open late, so employees and patrons can attend his service in the morning.
And a Louisville daycare was now suspended following a WHAS11 news investigation. Little Angels Enrichment Center on West Broadway is currently closed, according to the state. Earlier this month, Barbara Martin reached out to us after she says her 8-month-old granddaughter was left alone, locked inside the daycare after they closed for the day. Her family had to pry the door open with tree branches.
Was running through the daycare trying to find her. She was just screaming. And they found her in a playpen on the floor.
According to the state, the daycare's license is suspended as there are ongoing investigations. According to inspection records on Kentucky's Child Care Center database, the daycare has a history of compliance issues dating back to 2016. Investigations allege school-aged children were left outside of the daycare alone. A substitute with a history of child abuse and neglect cases worked there, and a crash that sent 3 children to the hospital by ambulance.